Hey there everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about a foundation that I decided to treat myself with. You know, I have a lot of things coming up. I really needed a new foundation, so I went ahead, I did my research. I actually researched pretty hard to try to find exactly what I wanted, and the closest thing that I think came to it was this NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. So today we are going to be trying this on. We're going to be looking at it up close and seeing how this goes. Now, I don't really buy expensive foundations. I just never have, but I have literally things coming up like back to back for the next few months, and I thought, you know, all of my foundations are super old, literally, well, all my liquid foundations. I decided, you know, maybe I should get a new liquid foundation. All of mine, like I said, are really old that I have. They're probably from 2018, 2019, so I definitely needed a new one. Now, when I was looking for a foundation, I wanted something that was a really natural finish with just like the little hint of like glow to it. Not like a highlighter glow. I didn't want to look oily or greasy or glittery. I just wanted like the softest kind of glow and luminosity to it. So after I did my research in many different ways, I came across the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. So we're going to try this out today and we're going to see how this goes. Now, this isn't the first time I've tried it. This is going to be the second time. The first time I just did like a little kind of like spot on my face just to see how the color matched before I fully dived into it in case I needed to return it. And it works really well. So we're going to go ahead and fully dive into it. Now, this little guy, he's little. It's only a fluid ounce, which I don't know. I think that's kind of normal, but for some reason this seems extra small. But this guy was $50. I have never in my life spent $50 on foundation. So I don't know what to expect, to be really honest with you, but we're going to give it a shot. Today I'm going to be using the shade Mont Blanc. It says light to Mont Blanc. And I will be honest, the color match that I did, I don't know how I did so well. It's literally like spot on. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm already liking this so much is that I've actually been on this hunt for a new foundation for weeks now. And the reason that I haven't really gotten a lot is because I felt like there actually isn't a lot to match my skin tone. And you know me saying that, you're like, girl, you are so pale. Like there's tons of pale colors. But I'm like, I feel like I'm right in between a lot of shades that I would have to buy two and mix them. I don't want to do that. So this is pretty much spot on to my skin. So I'm loving that already. I just opened this up. I don't like that this is not a pump. That really kind of disappoints me. I hate when things aren't pumps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one side of my face with a beauty blender and then the other side with the brush just to kind of see the difference. So as I mentioned, there's no pump. So I'm just going to put some on here with my finger, I guess. I don't really know. That I don't like that there's no pump. I'll just put it all over and then just do one side and the other, I guess. Yeah, at this point in like the makeup game, like I don't know how companies realize that like everybody likes pumps and they still just don't do it. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender first and try to do this half of my face. Now, granted, the name is Sheer Glow, so that kind of told me what to expect in terms of coverage, right? It should be sheer. Oh, I think my beauty blender is way too wet because this is not working out very well. And when I did it the first time that I used this, it worked out fine, so I think maybe we're just a little too wet here because it's looking a little too weird. But like, look at that color match. It looks so good. So, side note, I love like it's a matte black cap. It has kind of that fuzzy feeling to it, but they get so dirty so quickly, and I hate that. Oh, I didn't want this much. This is a lot. No, 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 take it away. Ah! Take it away. didn't put any makeup under my eyes yet. And I forgot to say, hopefully we're still watching, that I didn't put any primers or anything on. This is just going straight onto skin. So here's the first half of my face. It is a sheer coverage from what I can tell so far, because I can still see the redness on my skin here. I'm going to grab a brush next. Now this isn't like, this is actually for powder, but it's literally like the flattest top that I have, and I like kind of flat top brushes for foundation. So I'm going to try this and we'll see how this one goes. I'm doing kind of a stippling at first. I am just going to get a bit more, and this is just like applicator problems, but I noticed that right off the bat I definitely need more foundation to use a brush just to make it look good than I do with a beauty blender. And I usually feel the opposite way. I usually feel like I need more for a beauty blender because it's a sponge and it literally soaks things up, but this is just kind of taking away all the product in a bad way, I feel. So far between the sponge and the brush, I don't see too much of a difference yet in anything. I mean, it looks exactly the same. For me, I just prefer the sponge over the brush, but of course that's personal preference. So I'm going to scoot in really close to you guys so we can get a good close-up look. Hello and welcome to my face. So here's a super close-up look. We have the brush side. Once again, not that that really matters. It's just we're looking at the foundation, right? So as I mentioned, I just can't get over the color match to this foundation. I think that's definitely what I'm most pleased with. Now, the very, very first time that I tried this on, like I did just kind of like my big cheek portion here, I was kind of upset because I wanted something that was a little glowy, and I honestly didn't see that glow, but in this light that I'm using today, I do see it, and I don't know if that's because there's like sun shining on this, but I do see a glow today, so I am happy about that. Now, it's kind of hard to see, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it is kind of settling into my forehead wrinkles. And I haven't set it yet, but honestly, setting it's not going to help. Like, I've literally always had forehead wrinkles since I was a kid, and nothing really stops them, but it is kind of settling in there. Around my mouth here, I feel like it's accentuating the texture. I do have a lot of dry skin down here. And I feel like it just looks really cakey around my mouth. And remember, this foundation is not set yet. I think it does look natural. I think once you get like really up close, it does look a little bit cakey for such a sheer foundation. I mean, it does give a nice all over color wash, but if you're looking for like major coverage, this isn't it. As you can see, you can still see all of my acne here. I have some right here. Under my eyes, you can still see my dark circles. Could you back out? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to set my face with some powder just to see how it goes. So here we go. And I'm going to use 2 different powders just to see if anything makes a difference. On this half of my face, I'm going to do the Kat Von D Translucent Setting Powder because all the other setting powders I have a really color. It's not translucent. It's like more skin tone colored. No! Do you see that? No! Oh my gosh, it left a big white spot. Okay, hold on. Well, I think my plan of using 2 different powders is just not going to be it right now. Because I kind of had to spread this one across my forehead in order for it to work. And get rid of that spot. I don't know if that's just glow. Okay. So that plan's not going to work. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put some concealer on. And then we'll try to set the under eye concealer. Let's do that. For concealer, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is in the shade 100 Ivory. Oh no, I forgot that this doesn't really work. Like, just nothing ever comes. Like, I love this concealer, but that is the one thing I hate, is that sometimes the little twisty doodah here just does not work. So I'm going to try to get what I can out of here and see if this works. Is it just me? Am I that bad at makeup that nothing wants to work for me? Like, that looks not good. I'm like, I don't think this is the foundation's fault. I really don't. I went for that concealer. I'm not digging it. You can definitely see it everywhere that I put it, like not in a natural way. It doesn't look that good. But it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and try to set my under eyes with a more colored powder. I have the Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the shade 10 Fair Light. When I tried this in the past, I didn't really like it, to be dead honest with you, but I'm going to use it now. Okay, that does look better. It did kind of cancel out some of that color that I wasn't liking about the concealer. And that was my hope. Fantastic. That looks a little better. Okay. Now for some spot concealing, I'm going to go in with the Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. Like, I'm telling you guys, you're sleeping on this stuff for real. And I'm just going to put a few spots here. I have some right there, and I think, thankfully, that's it for right now. I was debating whether to put the concealer on before or after foundation, and I'm just giving it a try before. Okay. 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 Blush. Now, because I have a NARS foundation, I wanted to do a NARS blush because I have so many. Yeah, right. This is the only one I have, and it's literally like almost 10 years old, but I love it. This is in the shade Ghoulie, which I don't even think that they make anymore. At least when I looked on Sephora last night, they didn't make it. So we'll see. I just kind of want to see how their products work together, and so far, so good. Ooh, that looks really good. Nice! Okay, well there we have it, a full face of makeup on today. This rarely happens, but I do want to talk about a few other things that I noticed when I did try this foundation out the other day. Now, of course, we are living in the time of COVID and masks. I did wear a white mask with this the last time that I had it on. It is not transfer proof, I will say that. Like, you couldn't see it on my face that the makeup was wearing off, but you could see it when I took off the mask. It was definitely all foundation on the inside, even in the areas that I did set with powder. So I will say that this is not transfer proof. However, like I mentioned, you couldn't really see it on my face, so that is really good. I wore this foundation the first time I tested it out. I think I wore it for close to 8 hours, and it held up all the way throughout the day. It wasn't breaking apart in any areas. As I mentioned, it kind of gathers in my forehead wrinkles, but it didn't get worse as the day went along either, so that's really good. It didn't start to look more greasy or anything throughout the day either, so overall it's pretty, pretty good. And the feel of this is also amazing, at least for me. One of the reasons that I don't like liquid foundations is because they do feel really cakey and just gunky on your skin. This one doesn't. I honestly caught myself forgetting that I was wearing makeup at all. So it is really, really, I'm loving it. I think I made a good choice. Now, would I say it's worth $50? Probably not. I think maybe 20, mid-20s would be a good price range for this, but of course I can't control that. And that's just my opinion. But I do really like it. It did deliver on everything that I wanted. It is a good color match. Unfortunately, the price point was a little high, but once again, I can't control that. So let me know what you guys think. I'm really liking it so far, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys come back soon for some more videos. See you then.